What's good, everyone? So, my name is Mama Oskar Syarief. So, today I would like to explain to you about the cognitive learning system in SLA, in second language acquisition. So, actually, in SLA, the cognitive learning is like how your brain or how your neural system is working on learning language or acquisition it. Like when you try to learn on it, like it's like they construct their understanding on the language itself, like through cognitive process such as attention, memory, and problem solving. It can make your cognitive system can be much better and better. So yeah, I would like to say like there's a lot of things that we can learn from this topic, like in cognitive learning in second language, actually we have a lot of uh, way to grind these things up, like by learning, by thinking, like your brain looks for pattern in the new language. Like for example, you might notice that in English, in some sentence often follow the pattern like subject, verb, object. Like the example, like I eat pizza. Like your brain will compare this with your native language and try to figure out the pattern. Like yeah, like that. And the second one is the practice helps. Like the more you use the language, the easier it gets. Like just it's like learning to ride a bike, and at first you need to focus on balancing, but after practice, it becomes automatic. Like you can mastering that things, like. But after practice, like it becomes automatic in language. It seems like in language, like in language you might first think about how to make a sentence, but after practicing, you'll do it without thinking. Like in some example, like when you're like learning English and you practice saying like I am eating instead of I eat. For things happening now over time, you use the right form without stopping to think. So the third one is the solving problems. Like yeah, we are humans, right? And we are often to fix some problem and solving some problem in this our social life and everything. And it can be related to our progress while taking some our second language. Like if you don't know how to say something, your brain try to figure it out like by thinking of other words or rules, like you already know. Like in some example, like let's say you don't know how to say cat in a new language, but we know how to say dog or anything kind of creature or animal. You might use dog and point to a cat. Like eventually your brain will learn the right word for a cat and store it for later. And the fourth one is remembering, like like we often to remembering what kind of word or sentence or verb or phrase that we want to learn, or makes the learning progress become better. Like your brain use memory to keep new words and rules. Like you remember better if you repeat words or connects them to something. Like example, like you learn the word apple, you can think of a real apple or a picture in your mind. Like the next time you hear apple, your brain will remember it faster. Like yeah, like that. It's like muscle memory with in our neuron system. Like. And yeah, the fifth one is making the language neutral. So at first you might need to think about the rules, like, but with time, your brain will learn to use language without thinking about the rules every time. Like I don't know, you keep normalizing that things, like you make the what the progress, the system. I mean the progress while taking the language itself become neutral, become be part of yourself, be part of your mother tongue. No, not your mother tongue. Be part of your speaking. I mean, be part of your language. Like example, like at the first you might think, do I say I goes or I go? Like after practice, you just know that I go is correct without having to stop and think. Okay, by the end, let's sum these things up. Okay, like uh, in this topic, I would like to say like your brain looks for pattern in the new language. Like our brain is looking for the daily or the pattern itself for taking or acquisitioning new language. Like and practice makes using the language become easier and easier over time. Like you solve problem and try to figure out the meaning when you don't know something. Like and memory also helps you. You know, like you store words and rules for later use. And after practice using the language, it becomes natural. And then you mastering the language. I think that's all that I can say, guys. Thank you so much. See you on the next video. Bye bye.